Peace. My name is G Man of the Law. My artist name is P Funk City G. And I'd like to welcome you to The Naked Truth. I'm going to talk about my first year in Jamaica on this episode. This is episode 3. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's been supporting the channel. It's kind of overwhelming, you know what I'm saying, the love. Because, you know, I was talking to my cousin this morning, and it was like, I was telling him that, you know, it's a different reception. People responding to the video than it is, you know, the music, you know what I'm saying? Because that has always been my, my medium. You know what I'm saying, was music, releasing music, producing music, and then I've grown to, you know, video production, doing video production for artists and things of that nature. And now I'm in front of the camera, so it's crazy. Like the first video when I saw, you know, the first episode, that's the first time I ever saw myself talk. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I don't come across anything like how I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at me, I never noticed my mannerisms and all of that, but this has been therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? But I'd like to first thank everybody who's been supporting, and if you like to support, you know, to help build the channel, you can send me a donation on PayPal, whether it's $1, $2, $10, whatever. I call it, buy me a smoothie. Buy me a smoothie, you know what I'm saying? I'll spend it with the Rasta, with the papaya, banana, you know what I mean, smoothie. That's my favorite. Alright, so on this episode, I'm going to speak about my first year in Jamaica. You know, trying to get a strong foundation, alright? I had to find a strong foundation. I had to, you know, find a good woman, you know what I'm saying? You know, as they speak about in the Bible, you know, a good helper. You know what I'm saying? When you got a good woman, you got a good helper. You know what I'm saying? She's going to help you be great. That's why they say behind every great man is a great woman. You know what I'm saying? So I had a great team coming in here. You know what I'm saying? So now it's about building on that foundation. You know what I'm saying? So we had the security. And so now it was like to build on that security, you know, me being a you know, musician, producer, that's where, you know, I you know, I look to make money, you know what I'm saying? So so the first thing, you know, I spoke about in the last episode, I went to Kingston and you know, made some connections, but it was just too far. You know, 2.5 hour bus ride. I mean, you know, at the minimum, it could be 3-4 hours. But make a long story short, it's all. Anybody tell you when you go to Kingston from Westmoreland, it's a day's trip. It's a day's trip. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like, you know, like when I was growing up in Jersey and we could go into the city and be right back in, you know, 3-4 hours handling some business. Now it's not like that. You know, so I had to figure out how I could, you know, stay in Westmoreland, because that's where the foundation was. That's where, you know, my son's mother's family. That's the part I've been learning. The grill, and I know that the grill is an entertainment capital. So I said, it's actually when I was talking to Mikey Bennett, it came to my mind. You know, it was like, yo. Because coming to Kingston was rough, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't really want to move to Kingston. It was like how New Brunswick looked in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, it wasn't attractive. Anybody been around, you know, down 18, going through New Brunswick, look, you know, it was like, wow, damn, niggas living like that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, going through Spanish Town, you know, it's like, all of that is like living in the States. It's a city, you know what I'm saying, concrete. And, you know, so that whole mindset is different than where I am now in Westmoreland, where it's considered country.
So we go plant some herb. Watch the Babylon, them a fight against the herb. I try bring in coke, but what a day when just say come. All the wicked have to put down them gun. Crack and coke, coffee go down. Sodom and Gomorrah go get Babylon.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the best ganja in Jamaica you're gonna find in Westmoreland. You know what I'm saying? Either in Orange Hill or in Cave. You know, and so you know that's what I was looking for. You know what I mean? A country life. Actually, when the plan was when I graduated from Gibbs. The plan was for me to move down to North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So, Charlotte, you know, because, you know, my business partner, Divine Element, you know, he took me down there, you know what I'm saying, to check it out, because he had his grandmother, may she rest in peace, you know what I'm saying. Matter of fact, today is, I think 4 years, so may peace be upon her. And may she be remembered in perfection. You know? But anyway, we would go down there, you know what I mean, and his mom's was down there, grandfather, you know, so we went down there in February. You know what I mean? So anybody know, in February, New York is crazy cold. Winter time in full effect, ice, frigid temperatures. It hurts your skin, you know what I mean? So we wearing Timberlands, Gooses, you know what I mean? Thick jeans, turtlenecks, sweaters, Scullies, hats, scarves, you know what I'm saying? And we went down there in Charlotte and it was sunshine. You know what I'm saying? I think it was like 80 degrees when we was down there in Charlotte. So we moved down to Charlotte, and not move down to Charlotte, but that was the thing, that was the plan. We were gonna go down there and set up shop because, you know, we were producing music in Brooklyn, but New York was so political, and like at that time you needed $100,000 to get your song on the radio with through connections. You couldn't just go there with $100 in the van, and you know what I mean. But you would need connections. We went down there. We was like talking. You know, we was contacted the radio manager. You know what I mean? I forget what they call him, but the radio manager basically. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, yo, we can move and do marketing for like $500. You know what I mean? And reach a lot of people. So I liked Charlotte, and that was the plan. I was gonna move down to Charlotte. Remember I told you, I said I got like a $5,000 stipend. I was gonna spend that down in Charlotte because Jersey was just too high. Like I could spend that in rent for 2 months. You know what I mean? At that time in like Newark or New York would have been like in 1 month. And so Charlotte was the plan. But once I came down to Jamaica, and it was like, like the rent would be $1,400 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was, it was like, just, and understanding liabilities and assets and supply and demand and this and that. I was going to come to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Work out of Jamaica. The plan was to work out of Jamaica and come back, work six months in Jamaica and 6 months in the States. You know what I'm saying? Because we were up until that time, up until I went to school, we would always like rent a studio, rent a house, warehouse, had a studio in there. So basically, most of the money that we made, if we made money, was to the landlord. You know what I'm saying? So once I went to business school, I realized that the way it was set up, it was a liability. You know what I'm saying? Because we just working for landlords and not being able to put that money into the business. And so now it's like, when I'm working with artists, I tell them the number one thing is marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to spend $5,000 or $1,000 or $500, $750 on a song, getting it mixed from quality engineer, having it sounding right, going to paying a guy with a camera to film you lip syncing a song, and then you got to pay somebody to do the edits, and then you got to pay somebody for the artwork and all of that. So that was my key was learning all of that. So that's what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing, all of that. You know what I mean? And plus podcasts now. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell cats, keep that marketing money. You know what I'm saying? Everything is marketing. So it's better to have a low quality video. Put it out. Put a couple dollars a month, maybe $50, $100 a month to marketing it. Right? So if you're going to spend $1,500 on a song and you're not doing any marketing, the song is going to fail. In most cases. There's exceptions to every rule. But most times, if you got 10 artists, 9 of them are going to fail that way. You know what I'm saying? I would say 10, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 in 100, 1 in a million is going to go viral or, get to the masses. So the whole game in this music game is marketing. Or in any business, really, is marketing. You have to let people know, you have to let your market know, people who are looking for your services, your product, hey, this is what I do, you know what I mean? And some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. But the ones that love it, focus on that. And also the hate is going to generate, because people react to more things about hating, through hate than love, right? So and I realized that doing this page, like, I get comments, filled with hate and all of that. But I love that, because they're more likely to comment than people that really like the content. So we need to be successful. We have to have haters. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. So you have to get comfortable with being hated. I've always been comfortable with being hated. So you know what I'm saying? I've always been an outsider. So that's why it was easy for me to move to Jamaica. So now, I understood about business and changing liabilities into assets. So it was for me, it was an asset to be in Jamaica for many reasons. And once I linked up, because like I said, Kingston was not an option really unless I moved down to Kingston. I didn't want to move down to Kingston. I wanted to live in the country, because I'm about to move to Charlotte to live in the country, which is, Charlotte is not really country, but it's country compared to New York, New Jersey. All right. They call it, anyway, I ain't going to get into all that. But so that's what was the key. You know what I mean? It was like, I can't go to Kingston. I'm living in Sheffield. I got to figure out how. So what I did was, I came to SAG and I, went searching through the town, the main road, and I think it's St. George Road or something like that. But I'll show and prove, over this spot, showing you right where it is. But I went to all of the businesses and said, yo, I'm looking for a recording studio. Do you know any recording studios in this town? And a guy that owns a bike shop, he told me about Flex Rich. Now, Flex Rich is the biggest, I ain't gonna say the biggest, the biggest, in town, but the highest quality, because quality is always better than quantity. And this is the highest quality studio in Westmoreland, or I call West Jamaica. So like I said, when I was talking to Mikey Bennett, he came to me like, yo, focus on Westmoreland, make that the new Kingston. You know what I'm saying? So I linked up, and actually me and Damian Rich, an artist, Damian Rich, he owned the studio, Flex Rich. He's an amazing artist. You know what I'm saying? He's a dance hall, reggae, does that, but he transcends that. He's a pop artist. You know what I'm saying? And I call him a soul singer. Meaning, when I say pop artist, is that, yeah, Sean Paul is a dance hall artist, but he transcends dance hall. People who don't even listen to dance hall listen to him. Same thing with Vibes Cartel, and that's how Daniel Rich is. He transcends. We got some songs. Matter of fact, I'm a debut the song. You know what I'm saying? It's not finished editing, but it's finished mixing. I'm gonna put the song at the end of this record, at the end of this video, and give me some comments in the comment section about it. You know, like I said, I thrive on the hate too. So if you hate it, say it. Thumbs down, give it a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? And if you love it, let me know that as well. But the song is called Still I Walk. But he's the main artist that I focus on right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm here. I still work with artists in the States, but hands-on, day-to-day, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's me and Damien Rich right now, you know what I'm saying? And he's actually a business owner as well, you know what I mean? And like I said in the first video, you always go to the leader. You deal with the leader, then and everything gonna fall in line, because if you don't deal with the leader, you're gonna deal with a whole bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? But if you deal with a leader, you know what I mean, then it's like two alphas working together is gonna do great things. That's how it was with me and Cheese. He's an alpha, I'm an alpha. You know what I'm saying? And the queen, I'm not gonna say her name, but she used to always say, like, I never could figure out how you are two alphas and y'all could get along. The thing is that we was two alphas occupying two spaces. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy, you know, and Cheese is an out front kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So it worked perfectly. He didn't step on my toes, I didn't step on his toes. I didn't want attention. You know what I'm saying? And he's a Leo. So, you know what I mean? He's fine with the attention. You know what I mean? And worthy of it. I'm just laid back. You know what I mean? I don't want to be seen. You know what I mean? I like to be heard. But, you know, like I said, to the leaders, to the bosses, even in prison. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, the alpha, I always got along with the alphas. You know what I'm saying? It was the soldiers that I would, you know what I mean, who would try your chin. You know what I'm saying? But I never really had no problem with that either. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, I went to the camp, so I ain't really, like, you know, got no horrible, you know, prison stories where we had to fight, you know what I mean, and all that shit. But I do have that in the street stories, you know what I'm saying? Because I only did 11 months in prison. 11 months in jail, 5 months in prison, you know what I mean, on a probation violation. So, anyway, getting back to Flex Rich, you know, so he had the #1 studio. So I was like, yeah, so they showed me where the studio was. So I go to the studio. They told me where the studio was. I figured out where it was. I went, followed through. That's one thing that Puff always pushed, you know what I'm saying, to the staff is follow through. That's where I learned that, follow through. Follow through is the most important. You make a phone call, and you make contact or whatever, you have to follow through. You have to always follow through. It's not just putting in the effort, it's the follow through, right? People make records, right? 30 million people are making records today that will never be released because they don't follow through. You know what I'm saying? Or if they release, they're not doing marketing. So it's like, you know, we have to follow it through all the way to the end. So, you know, anyway, that's the thing with the follow through. So I went to Flex Rich, followed through, found out where they were, and they were actually moving out the studio. So, but, you know, I was able to make contact, and I was able to improve my knowledge of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of music, because they didn't know how to. They had the Pro Tools C24 control board, very nice board, especially at that time, 15 years ago, right? And they didn't know how to take it apart. You know what I'm saying? So I took it apart for them. I, labeled it, the wires and everything, so that when it was time, they was like, all right. So then they put me on the mix. I mixed a couple records for them. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing was, I introduced myself as an engineer. But now that because the engineering was always a plan B. But like I said, I've been since I've been here in Jamaica with after being educated. Now I'm studying billionaires and millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So now I realize that the difference between white people and black people white people focus on their dreams. Black people focus on their plan B. You know what I mean? Everybody told me to get a plan B in case the music don't work out. So then that was the engineering. I did the engineering so that, you know what I mean? But I spent 15 years mastering that. You know what I'm saying? Which I could have been focused on, you know what I mean? Learn how to produce records. You know what I'm saying? So always focus on your plan A. You know what I'm saying? And if the plan A don't work, then go to plan B. But we focus on the plan B. Spend time on the plan B, quality time that we can be working on living our dreams, right? So anyway, fortunately I was able to help the brothers out. They put me on mixes and everything. But they seen me in the movie in the studio, and they saw that I knew my way around. But like I said, they see me as an engineer. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, so at that point, I wanted to get into the, like production, where it's like, producing quality artists. That was part of the thing, right? Part of the plan, the process. Work with who I can for now. Let that project lead me to quality artists. So now this is at the quality artists, and then the next level would be, mid-level artists, huge artists, megastars, right? All right. So we were working with high quality artists. I knew that my man was nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially once we started recording. I started recording him, and I don't know if I was recording him on my music or DJ Barry's music. But damn, your time be flying. 20 minutes already. I ain't gonna be able to go through all my topics. But anyway, but he gave me everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say, yo, do it one more time, and and he do it one more time, and they keep on going, we doing that cipher like 50 times, he doing it. And he said, if I say, yo, little more energy, he giving me a little more energy. Give me a different tone. He give me a different tone. He gave me everything that I needed for the record to be, like sonically amazing. So, so it was like, yo, I already knew, who he was. You know what I'm saying? On top of, he's soulful. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's soulful. And that's what the music is all about. And it was like, it was like, we used to build about music and philosophy and all that. And I used to always tell him, I say, yo, for me, making records is all about feeling and texture. It don't have to be, like, you don't have to hit the note perfect like Celine Dion. You know what I mean? I want you to like, feel it like Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not great singers. Them three not great singers. Stevie Wonder is probably a horrible singer. But he has so much emotion that you feel his music. Same with Mary, same with Bob. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, when you like sound great and have feeling like a Marvin Gaye and you know what I mean, Patti LaBelle and Aretha, now Michael, you know what I mean? Now you in another stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like I have, with him, because, he got the feeling and the soul texture. You know what I'm saying? And he has a great voice. He's musical. And that's why I fit in making music, in Jamaica, because, I'm musical. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped using samples. I can't even remember, you know what I mean? Like, when I stopped, but it was early in the game, because, my whole thing was about releasing records. And so now, with the digital platforms, you had the SoundCloud, YouTube, and, different mediums where it's like, if you got a sample, and iTunes at the time too, if you got a sample, like, if they could detect that it has a sample, you can't upload it unless your paperwork right. You have rights to the music, and all of that. Before it became to the digital realm, and we selling CDs and cassettes, mixtapes and albums, independent project. It didn't if it had a sample or not, nobody could stop it. You know what I mean? If the record took off, then they come in to see you, but now it's worth it. You know what I mean? But now it's like, yo, you can't even, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I did a track and it had a SWV sample. You know what I mean? It was like, I couldn't even load it to YouTube because, you know what I mean? It was, what they call it, copyright. They check, you know, you're checking it for copyright. It came back, yo, this got that, and that, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started learning how to play, because, and that's one of the benefits of me moving to Jamaica, because with Jamaica I didn't have to work so hard and spend so much time making money. You know what I'm saying? Outside the game, like, so now I can study, learn, you know, not just business. You know, about you know, practicing, you know, cleaning karma. You know what I'm saying? I learned that through reading. You know what I'm saying? And studying. And like I said, what put me on that path was the book "Do You" by Russell Simmons, and he talked about transcendental meditation. That right there is what really propelled me, you know what I'm saying, to like going on to another level where it's like I don't have the weight of things that I had done in the past. You know what I mean? I've got a clean slate. You know, and that transcendental meditation, it may sound, you know, sophisticated or something, but it's basically meditation, and you only focusing on your breath. So now I could clear my mind. And all I'm focusing on when I'm meditating is my breathing, right? Like when I first started meditating, I get frustrated because it's like I'm trying to clear things out of my mind, you know. But but the more I learned, it wasn't about clearing your mind. It's about focusing on the breathing. If you focus on the breathing, and it always comes back to see, like I just went into a trance right now where I just nothing was I was aware of nothing else but the breathing. You know what I'm saying? So that's really transcendental meditation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? I was able to clear my mind and focus and be still, because we all know, you know, be still and know God and all of these, you know, things. But how do we be still? Right? The trick is like trying to figure out how to be still. So anyway, now I'm in Jamaica and I know how to meditate, and I'm focusing on my spirituality, right? Because that's a part of life, right? The spirit can't live without the body, and the body can't live without the spirit, right? So don't look, you know, but that might go over some people's heads. So, but if you research outside of just one book, it might take many books or listening to many wise men. You'll come to it, you know, to see what I'm talking about, you know, and getting back to seeing what I'm talking about in the 5% mathematics, right? You know, it's the supreme mathematics, and it's a 1 through 10, right? The first 3 is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So the knowledge is to look, listen, and observe, right? So I always think of it as like a scientist, right? The scientist looks, listens, and observes, right? But they might not be acting on what they're observing. So that's just knowledge, right? But to take that knowledge to another level, we have to practice that knowledge. Write it down, jot it, remember it, live it, right? Because wisdom is a manifestation of knowledge. So manifest means to do, to act, to practice, right? Practice knowledge. Or if we practice our dreams, we have to do our dreams, live our dreams out, right? So if we get the knowledge and then practice the knowledge, in time, we will understand it to see with the mind, understand it to the third eye, right? So I knew this, and that allowed me to know the transcendental meditation, because once you understand that and study the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which is the supreme wisdom, or in the nation of God's earth, 5%, as Elijah Muhammad described, is that it's all mathematical. So if you can deal with that, you can become a creator of your world. So now we're not just following along or doing what's expected of us, right? We become God, right? And it doesn't mean the God that you think it is if you don't have knowledge of self. Because if you don't have knowledge of self, then you think that God is in the sky and you can't see him, and it's forbidden for you to see, or you're going to die and all of that. But if you have knowledge of self, you know that God is in you, right? So you don't have to look outside yourself for God. You look for God within, right? So now that means that I'm responsible for my own action, my own future, right? And taking responsibility for my past, right? So I'm not asking a ghost to forgive me. I'm asking myself to forgive me. I'm not asking a ghost to make things happen for me. I'm asking myself to find in myself to become whatever it is, or manifest whatever I deem, necessary. So it's the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So now I'm in Jamaica with knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Karma is clean. And now it's like I'm being led, right, to, flex rich, And so, like I said, I came as an engineer, but I became a great producer there, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm musical, so I'm playing, music, got a keyboard sound, play something, you know what I mean? And put drums to it, you know what I'm saying? And get vocalists to record it. That's pretty much my process. Before then, I would have to pay somebody to play the keys. So, like I had some placements on, on different labels and stuff like that, but I would always have to get a keyboardist to play. Living in Jamaica allowed me to study, learn, and Doug Pell, my mentor, he gave me when I was an intern, he gave me a strong foundation to make it in the music industry. And one of the things was he taught me to scale. So once he taught me to scale, now I know how to figure out what music is. You know what I mean? Like whole, half, whole, half. You know what I mean? For a major chord. So now I'm only playing with the black keys with that math. But once I got here, I had time to learn the different keys, learn how to play chords and how to manipulate it so that it sounds like like I'm Beethoven or something. So it just allowed me to be more free, because early in life I realized that the American way, especially when I got knowledge of self. Now I'm gonna say knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of self, because knowledge itself is not enough to be great. You just know who you are. But now you got to make manifest the God in you. You know what I'm saying? So there's nobody coming to save me except me. My energy might attract. You know what I mean? Because that's getting a little too deep, and I'll deal with that on another level. But we may be able to attract others to, you know what I mean, partake in and help, or we help, you know what I mean? But it's based on us being the center of the universe, like the sun is the center of the universe, right? So anyway, so I was able to like be in an environment where they like, because now it's like, you know, in 2009, you know, hip hop was mainly samples. You know what I'm saying? So here I am playing, you know, music with keyboard. Niggas like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they always wanted samples and all of that. But once trap music took off, that's when the appreciation for live music, you know, like played music, took off. You know what I mean? Like, trap music is basically, you know, niggas playing keys to a trap beat, 808, you know, thin snares. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the same thing with dancehall. Like, dancehall is, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and the musicians playing, you know, usually a keyboardist, you know, playing and doing this thing, coming up with a vibe and putting the boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? So, so anyway, there was an appreciation for what I was doing musically. You know what I'm saying? Now it's appreciated in the States now because of, you know, trap music. But in 2007, like, niggas wasn't like, you know, I was ahead of my time. Niggas wasn't really feeling what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like some joints, like with the soul, we was able to, but we had to mix it with like samples. You know what I'm saying? But I already knew, like, yo, that was a trick. The samples is a trick, because now you can't put out a record without the permission of the artist that you're sampling. On top of that, you're making them money. They're getting paid before you get paid. You know what I'm saying? So who usually owns the sampling in the publishing company? Not black people. So that's how they able to get rich off of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because it always comes back to their publishing companies, and cats can't put out the record and all of that, or they put out the record, that's who getting paid first. And them cats in the 80s and 90s, most of them, if they not doing shows and all of that, they broke. It's only 3 or 4 cats that's making records in the 90s, you know what I mean, like and living in a high standard. You know what I'm saying? Because the publishing made the billions and trillions of dollars that hip-hop would do. So mathematically, it's a liability. Using the samples is a liability. So I was appreciating, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, Cass is working hard. Duke, Damian Rich, you know what I mean? He working hard. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that work. You know what I mean? It make me work hard. When I see an artist working hard, I work hard. If an artist don't really care, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If an artist doing it for love, I'm gonna do it for the love. If an artist not working, you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay me for my time. But if I believe in you, you know what I'm saying, and your talents, and one thing I learned about business is you have to bet on people. It's like, yo, I bet he gonna make it. I'll work for that cat for free. If a guy, you know, artist trying to waste my time and, you know, inconsistent, or they consistent at being inconsistent, yo, I'm like, yo, you gotta pay me. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's like an artist producer relationship is like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, it's an intricate relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you have to be honest. The artist has to be able to trust you, but at the same time, the producer has to be able to trust the artist that they gonna perform. And it's like, yo, it's like, it boils down to like, yo, I might not be the producer for you. You know what I'm saying? Or you might not be the artist for me. You know what I mean? But you might do greater in another system. Just like with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre had Eve. Dr. Dre had Busta Rhymes. Dr. Dre had Eric B. and Rock. You know, Eric B. He had Hammer. You know what I mean? Bonafide superstars. But he really, you know, he wasn't successful producing that. You know what I'm saying? But he was, you know, successful, you know, doing, you know, Death Row and the Aftermath. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about clicking up with the like mind. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and I want to give a shout out to the independent artists. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's an artist that's working hard, you might know an artist, and you know what I mean, they just need some finishing touches and all of that. Let me know. You know what I mean? Get up with me. funktheworld@gmail.com. PHUNK THE world @gmail.com, or hit me on my website, pfunkcityg.com. Link is in the bio, just like the PayPal donations is in the bio, or everything is in the bio. Let's work. You know what I'm saying? But so now I link up with the biggest, baddest studio in Westmoreland, and my plan is make Westmoreland a center for Jamaican art. That's where we at right now. You're gonna see, like in the video, like, I'm dealing with some very talented people. You know what I'm saying? And we come in with the real. We not like, we men. We making music for, you know what I mean, like men and women. You know what I mean? We ain't no little chicken heads, no, you know what I mean? We don't make whole music. We don't make all of that. You know what I mean? All the bullshit. You know what I mean? Bad bitches and gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we street smart, and we can get gangster when we need to get gangster. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are. We street smart. You know what I'm saying? But we men. We got knowledge of self, and that's why I love Jamaica, because the Rasta got knowledge of self, and wisdom of self, and understanding of self. You know what I'm saying? If you ask a Rasta, they're going to tell you who God is. Himself. You know what I'm saying? The black man is God. Right? They might not say the black man is God, but he know that he's God. And that's what's the difference. So, we can build. Like, the thing was, I found, Jamaica is that we the same. We've been told that we different, but we the same. We the same people. We like barbecue chicken, they like brown stew chicken. We like chicken and gravy, they like curry chicken. Same shit. What we call chicken fricassee. They got chicken fricassee here. We like fried chicken and french fries with coleslaw. You know what I'm saying? We like cornbread. They make festival. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we the same. We got the same taste buds. We got the same brain size. The only difference is subtle differences in the culture. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the black man in America has a trauma of slavery. Not that Jamaicans don't, because they do too. We the same people, just at a different boat style. The key difference is the maroon, right? So the maroon, Nanny, Cujo, her brothers, Apple Kong, and they have an amazing story. But their story and the maroons in Jamaica is that when the slave boat came, they took off running, right? Barefoot. First chance they get, they ran into the hills. And the white man with his cumbersome boots and his, baggy clothes and all that stuff, couldn't keep up. So they had maybe a day head start on them. And Jamaica is on the same, I don't know if it's longitude or latitude, but it's the one that goes this way, right? We're on the same line as Africa. So the terrain is the same. So Nanny and her brothers, they revolted. They went up into the hills, and the white man couldn't even come get them because they went so deep in the hills barefoot running, because that's what they used to doing where they came from, which was at West Africa. So to make a long story short, the British, who was in control of Jamaica at the time, couldn't even go up in the hills because, and Nanny and them, they didn't even have guns, but they was able to fend off each other because they would hide and they would be stealth covered in like bush, like camouflage. You know what I'm saying? The Europeans and the Indians, they would get the Arawak Indians to come, you know, who knew the terrain, but they were at the mercy of them. But Nanny and the family and other, rebellious slaves who ran away, they went up into the hills and would be dressed in camouflage and set up traps for the British and the Indians. You know what I mean? And defend, you know what I mean, their space. Right? So they were able to do this for, maybe 200 years. So they were pure, straight from the motherland, right? With their traditions and everything. Right? So they weren't colonized. There's maroon towns throughout Jamaica. So when you come, get out the resort, come check out, how Jamaicans is living in different towns and all that, because it's an amazing history. And the thing is, when we spending money on the resorts, people in Jamaica don't get that money unless they working at the hotel and they only getting, a little bit of it. The way to get money to them is to come out of the resort and spend money with the man that's selling chicken, on the street and all of that, and connect with the people. That's what we did, and that's what my mother always allowed us to do. She always pushed for that. You know what I mean? Go outside, hang out with the but when we was young, we wasn't traveling like out the country, maybe to Canada, but we was always like going to Disney World, Florida, Baltimore, Rochester, you know what I'm saying, Chicago. So, and so while we there, like my grandmother, I love dearly. She loved me, you know what I mean? She one of my favorite people, you know what I mean, that I've ever known. But my father's mother, and she would, we'd be in Baltimore playing in the alleys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Playing with the kids, like they, like when they see them Jersey plates, they come and knocking on my grandmother's door. You know what I mean? So it was amazing. We'd be playing block. I forget what they call it, but it was basically 4 squares. You know what I'm saying? And you bounce a ball. They bounce the ball into your box, and you got to bounce it back into their box. And they, you know what I mean? But if they can't get it out their box and it goes out of bounds, they out. But if they put it in your box and you can't return it and it goes out of bounds, you out. You know what I mean? And it'd be 4 squares. I forget what they call it, but we had an amazing time. I love Baltimore. Baltimore is one of my favorite cities, and Maryland is one of my favorite states. Maryland has the most beautiful women in the world. You know what I mean? New York do too. Brooklyn and Harlem have beautiful women. Beautiful women. Bronx too, but the women in Bronx is tough. You know what I'm saying? They tough. But like Brooklyn and Harlem, you know what I mean? Like they and Maryland have the most beautiful black women. When I mean by beautiful, like not only are they pretty, because to me black women are the most pretty. You know what I'm saying? But they got style and class at the same time. I was gonna say something else about that, but I lost my thought. But so about the black women. I love black women. You know what I mean? Like there's no. I think black women have become ugly. You know what I'm saying? They put a whole bunch of stuff on their face that make them have with bad skin, put them eyelashes on and the fake hair, and they put a costume on and they start talking like this and they got the attitude. I don't like them black women at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the black women that got, kinky hair, you know what I'm saying? No makeup, because I grew up in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I became a man in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? So, black women who didn't wear makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might wear eyeliner. So, it's like, these chicks coming up looking like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. OG like me, like, Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I like, natural, beautiful black women. I was telling a friend last week, it was like, yo, I like beautiful women that don't act like they pretty. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of women I've always been attracted to. I love beautiful, women, not no bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bad bitches is headaches. You know what I'm saying? Bad bitches is headaches. You know what I'm saying? But if you got, a beautiful black woman, you know what I mean? You got something special. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not like, I'm like one of them guys that's going to these Spanish, countries and get, got with light skinned girl with red lipstick and long black hair. And, you know what I mean? Now that, like, I always been a fly nigga. So me and my brother was dealing with, beautiful girls, like, before we was even sexually interested. You know what I mean? Like, bitches been trying to call and get up with, and, you know what I mean? So by the time we was 15, we was like ran through Spanish girls in town. You know what I mean? So I already knew, you know what I mean? Like, they don't, by the time they 25, they like white people. They start cracking. You know what I mean? Their face, their body. You know what I mean? Black women, they, if they take care of themselves. Now, I'm not saying just because they black. I'm saying like a black woman who had knowledge of self. You know what I mean? Like, she want to be different, not the average. You know what I'm saying? Average one is like a white woman. You know what I'm saying? But the black woman who loves herself for who she is and reads books and studies and, you know what I mean, knows that the chemicals is in makeup and I would never put that on my face and I ain't put no straightener in my hair and, you know what I mean, all of that. Those are the women I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that I appreciate. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that I respect. And I try to go out my way, as I see. I don't even do it no more because, these chicks, you can't even give a woman a compliment now. But I used to be like, yo, if she had an alpha and had a natural look, I'd be like, yo, you look beautiful. Now, you know what I mean? They looking at you like, you know what I mean? She be going online talking about me too. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, they got us living so unnatural. But in Jamaica, everything is natural. Not everything like all the women, you know what I mean? Like, you got thugs and gangsters here, but it's not like, you know what I mean, in the States. They might lead you to believe that Jamaica rough, but America is the most, especially the American black hood, that's the most violent place in the world. The only places that might be most violent are places that are at war. You know what I'm saying? Like 40 people getting shot, you know what I mean, in our town and in our cities in the States. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can take the you know what I'm saying, the death toll of one major city and it'd be the death toll of the whole, you know what I'm saying, nation. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different life, you know what I'm saying? And, I learned early on, through the teachings of Elijah Muhammad that, we live in a devilish life over there in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, like just the fact, like, let's just break down 9 to 5. Most people work 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is the best part of the day. That's when the sun is at its highest peak. And we in the office. Like, it's crazy because black people come and I be seeing it. Like, I be seeing it now because black people come over here and they be looking ashy, like pasty, like, you know what I mean? Like, they need some sun. You know what I mean? And vitamin D is necessary for black people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not only should it touch our skin, we need it to go through our eyes, right? Because, we have a thing called the pineal gland in our brain, right? So the pineal gland is where we get our spirituality. You understand? Like the eyeball, you get the sight, your ears, you get the hair, your tongue, you get the taste. The pineal gland is your spirituality. Your Your spirituality is within your brain. It's within the pineal gland. And so, I mean, we could go on, but I'm going to just leave it there. But the pineal gland is rejuvenated and energized through receiving sunlight through our eyes. So if you're not receiving sunlight through your eyes, you're spiritually dead. I don't care what book you read, how many times a day you pray. Right? You would be better off not doing any of that and getting sunlight. But anyway, so we working 9 to 5, running from the sun, and our spiritual life is dead. So now we just beings. We're human beings, not gods, right? Because God is intellectual. Man is on a lower level of existence, right? So we working 9 to 5 with no spirituality. The best part of our day to get money for food, clothing, and shelter. Most of the money goes for the clothes that we wear to work. Then we got to pay for transportation to get to work. So cats is spending $200 a week just to work. On top of, if you married or got a kid, you got child care, right? So now we spending the best part of the day outside the sun, working for somebody else that might be making. Let's say we're making $100 an hour. If somebody paying you $100 an hour, guess how much they making off you? You understand? 4 times that. That's in anybody who's been in business school. You pay the worker as little as possible so you can make the most profit possible. When you want to make money, what do people, when they want to make extra money, what do? You want to make more money, you spend less. What's the first thing that gets cut? Payroll. You understand? So we working to make somebody else, yeah, we, got food, clothing, and shelter, but they're living in paradise. They work when they want to work. And they love what they do because they're only going to pay you for the stuff that they don't want to do. And if you're doing something that they can't do, then the price goes up. But they're still making 4 times what you're making off of paying you the pittance. So we're spending the best part of the day, and we sending our babies, our most valuable product. The greatest thing in life are the babies, our children. The greatest thing you can do is not become president of the United States or have a doctorate. The greatest thing you can do is love your child and pour into your child so that they can be successful. He or she can be successful in their life. And it doesn't mean successful means go get another job. Success means to be great, to find paradise here on earth. So, it really opened my eyes because you can't watch these videos and not know that my mother is the most precious thing to me. You know what I'm saying? She had the greatest impact. I love her more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody. And to see her work her life, she died at 58. She returned to the essence at 58. Life only gets greater in your 50s and 60s. And she retired from Bell Laboratories, from a hospital bed, early. That wasn't for me. I was going to do my best not to do that. You understand? And it's like, You know, like she had a great life. Not to take away from it, and I'm not saying like what I'm saying is she had an average life. We're dying too young. We're suffering. We're sick. Old fast. We're not even living to be 100. And the human body has the ability of taking care of properly to live 1,000 years. You understand? You can start a baby off with navy beans, and he's gonna live to 120 because our babies might not live to 1,000, but if they're fed properly and taught right information, they can live to 120, and then their babies can live to 150, and then their babies can be live to 200. See how that go? And we're not. We're dying at 50, 60 years old. Yeah, we outliving the slaves that lived to 20. The average slaves in the 1800s lived to 22 years old. The slave master lived to 40-something years old, 43 years old. So, the person that got the wisdom, the most wisdom, smartest people, they're going to live the longest, and they're going to rule the world. At 22, our brain is not even fully developed. So that's how they've been able to rule us, is to keep information from us. And they keep information from us, they keep away our freedom. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his teachings, gave us freedom so that we can have a better life and live in paradise here on earth today. It's our option. So yeah, we have people that they have great jobs, great health insurance, all of these things, and they need every bit of it. Meanwhile, we've been told that Jamaica is a poor country, and you have people in Jamaica that's living a great life. I know a man that when I was living in Cave, he lived to be 90-something years old. And he would just sit, because I was living in Cave. I'm going to show you the view of Cave, one day. I don't think I have any pictures that I can get to in time for this video, but I'll try. But it's the most beautiful view in the world that I've seen. And I would tell Cass when I was living up there, yo, like, to have this view that we see every day, you would have to be a multi-millionaire. But there was an old man that, had a little board house, and I felt sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? But then I would study him and look at him. I said, and he didn't. And then I compared like older people, and in America. I said, yo, he the lucky one. So when I came to Jamaica, I came with American mind. Even though I thought I was a rebel and I ain't like these people, yo, I was colonized like a mother effer. But once I became a student and started studying people here in Jamaica instead of trying to save them, I became a student. And then I realized that they knew and were in better shape and condition than the black man in America. The only thing that America has is money. But you have a great life without it. And one thing that I learned through the transcendental meditation and studying Deepak Chopra and stuff like that is, if you chase money, you'll never have enough. But if you chase happiness, you'll always have more than enough money. I'm gonna leave it there. Love, peace, and happiness.
You know what I'm saying? So, man,
I'm put down the bit.
Nah, not yet. Okay. Yo, it's crazy. I said, he'll make a great ball. Play the ball in the park.
Bro, man, I'm gonna keep my ass
So, we get it.
What's up, man? Yes, man, boy. Lick you up on your bike and put big gunshot in your head, boy.
Bicycle.
Don't give my fan.
Give me one half class.
You are my bad, bro, man.
Bro, man, a waste man a road. You stop chat with him. Man can't do me nothing, I'm sure of that.
I know you can't do it.
Half class.
You got change the five
You
grand,
got.
you know.
Half class. You're a waste man, man.
Woman tell me about your boy.
You're a waste man, man. You're a waste man. See, I run up on town, boy.
Yo, what's the problem, man? Eat your food, eat your food.
Making ghosts off the street, man. Heard it? Saki, Saka, Saka. They should know. Hear me the GB. Come on!
In a me Gideon mood, man ready for the street.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
G tell me no surrender and tell me no retreat.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The harder the backer, the victory more sweet.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The road off the chop, the kids them off the eat.
Me nah give up, me still a walk.
House on the hill now, ready to go bill now. I'm so in low, chasing them in low. One more when I'm ID, car in a driveway, when I cruise on the highway. None of them no bad like me. What's mine? Claim it like police bird if you could claim it. The cake off his slice, where them feel some bumble hole no one share it. Man teach them, unleash them. Them don't remember me when they pay me. Man bad from a long time, and not just now we know. In a me Gideon mood, man ready for the street.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
G tell me no surrender and tell me no retreat.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The harder the backer, the victory more sweet.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The road off the chop, the kids them off the eat.
Me nah give up, me still a walk.
For my dreams to come true, and money stop run through. And stay with me, play with me, each and every day with me. Fly when I want to, and buy when I want to. Money, 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 no. Stay with me, stay with me.
Bank book, heavyweight, money size, Bill Gates. Only become money state. Everyone a corporate, hard work, dedicate. More money, elevate. We step in it, we cups up, come make we celebrate.
In a me Gideon mood, man ready for the street.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
G tell me no surrender and tell me no retreat.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The harder the backer, the victory more sweet.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The road off the chop, the kids them off the eat.
Me nah give up, me still a walk.
Even though me stepping hard, please protect me lad. Me never left it when me left me yard.
How me fit on clown in a my town. Enemy can't hold me like stray dog.
Me never sell out me place, Sablamar.
Remember say gully a me base.
In a hand them walk with it and no waste.
No time to chase. They think them can seize up like y'all and get feel up there.
In a me Gideon mood, man ready for the street.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
G tell me no surrender and tell me no retreat.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The harder the backer, the victory more sweet.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The road off the chop, the kids them off the eat.
Me nah give up, me still a walk.
In a me Gideon mood, man ready for the street.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
G tell me no surrender and tell me no retreat.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The harder the backer, the victory more sweet.
Me nah give up, me still a blood clot war.
The road off the chop, the kids them off the eat.
Me nah give up, me still a walk.
light. Make sure the light. Make sure the light that it. Make sure the camera is by light, or else it'll like affect the lighting.
P Funk City G.